think we finally sorted the audio.
Well, fingers crossed. Mike is turned up, so...
The camera. Yours is a bit scratchy, actually, your mic there. So, I think we finally sorted it. It's the fourth time lucky with audio. So, could you guys let us know in the comments whether we sound... Hang on. Put my mic there. If we sound okay. If we look okay.
Do we sound better? Yeah,
so
do we sound better?
Today's a big day, Paula. Today is a big day.
It's a massive day.
I'm fearful.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Well, I think it's a big worry, isn't it, for people in the UK, because all reports that are coming out from the media are this is going to be a really tax-heavy budget, and nobody wants increasing taxes.
No, not at all. And I think today in particular, I'm starting to think that it's not going to be good. And I know I don't want to be negative. I'm not normally that negative type of guy, as you know, but I'm not getting a good feeling about this at all whatsoever. So Dean's saying here, it's going to be good or bad. We will see.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think it's going to be, though, guys? Let us know in the comments. I know there's only there's about 20 of you here at the moment. But let us know in the comments what you're thinking this budget's going to be. Is it going to be a positive budget? Are we going to come away from this going, awesome, amazing? Government have sorted us all right out and they're looking out for us. Or, like me, are you a little bit fearful?
I think the reality is to implement the things that they are saying they want to do, they need more money. And there's a massive hole at the moment and it needs plugging. And let's face it, the easiest way to do that for governments is to raise taxes.
Yeah, it's not even in doubt. So you need to make raise the taxes. I get it. I get that we need nice things. We need hospitals. We need schools. We need everything. This is it. And that the money comes from that. But I feel at the moment, I feel like we're being squeezed. I think the average person is getting squeezed more than they need to be.
Yeah.
And I'm just not sure. For me, it feels like there's a lot of wastage in our country at the moment when it comes to money. I'm going to try not to get too political, even though this is a political subject. But I feel like there's a lot of wastage of a lot of money.
So somebody here, Matt, is saying, Matt sounds quieter than Paula and Paula's mic is really loud. So I'm happy to... I'll sit back a bit. Hopefully that will solve it. But I can also turn it down a little bit if it is too loud, guys.
Is that better? Is she a little bit quieter now? I'm also trying not to shout.
Yeah, it has been known that you are quite loud when you talk.
Normally talk like this. Is that better now?
So guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We have got the Commons Prime Minister's questions on in the background. We're listening out for when the budget announcement starts. So as soon as that starts, we'll get it on the stream for you so you guys can watch it live with us. Yeah,
they're still just doing the normal stuff at the moment. So we could flick over to them if you wanted to. Should we flick over to them? I think the Prime Minister's about to talk. So we've got Prime Minister's questions first. Before you go into the budget, it's completely up to you whether you want to keep talking or we can flick over to the Prime Minister and see what's going on.
We can flick over. We can talk over him if we need to.
Yeah, well, I've actually turned him down, but we'll turn him up just a little bit more.
Okay, I can't hear that.
1 second. What about now?
No.
Okay, 1 second.
Yeah. Awesome. It's quite loud now.
Okay, I'll turn it down.
Mr. Speaker, this has been the most chaotic lead-up to a budget in living memory, with resignations, hostile briefings, and...
Can I just say to a couple of you, if you don't want the budget, make your mind up now.
I love it when they have an argument.
Can you still hear them now?
No.
With resignations, hostile briefings, and leaks galore, even just in the last 10 minutes, an unprecedented leak of the OBR analysis. Unbelievable. Mr. Speaker, these leaks have been so serious that even the former chief economist of the Bank of England has said, and I quote, that Labour's fiscal fandango is the single biggest reason why growth has flatlined. Does the Prime Minister agree with Andy Haldane, and does he have an explanation for this complete shambles?
We all know the biggest shambles in living history, the Liz Truss.
Can you still hear them?
No, it's just gone off.
Agree, this must be wrong. No, she said, I think Liz Truss is 100% right. 100%. Not much room for flexibility. Not one thing was wrong with it, in her view. So we won't be taking lectures from her. Matters for the OBR. For the OBR. The Chancellor will set out the budget in just a few minutes' time.
Mr. Speaker, we're talking about the leaks. The Prime Minister doesn't seem to appreciate the impact of these budget leaks on the UK economy. Even the Chief Secretary to the Prime Minister has said this morning that the leaks were unacceptable. So will the Prime Minister launch an investigation into the budget leaks and punish those responsible?
Mr. Speaker,
Okay, Matt, so I've just had a flick over to the charts, and there's a big red candle on the XRP chart.
Are we in a short?
Yeah.
Thanks to the decisions she's already taken.
XRP is now at
215.
215.
Extra NHS appointments. Waiting lists are coming down. Mortgages are cheaper. We've expanded free school meals. That's 100,000.
I think it might be interesting to see what the impact on the charts are whilst we have this budget announcement, because I'm not expecting huge amounts of changes, but you never know.
He talks about the decision she's
so my
already
profits
taken.
already
If they were
stopped
that
at
great, we wouldn't have
TP1,
all those
and
farmers
the
out
runner
striking.
going now at 40%.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to talk about leaks, but we can see that the chaos in number 10 is having real-world consequences. Instead of focusing on the economy, they've been fighting like rats. Several journalists reported that number 10 sources
see the price
had
of the
briefed
crypto on the
against the
screen as
health
well, Paula,
secretary
look.
and other senior cabinet
Live.
ministers. The Prime Minister then told us that these briefings did not
She's saying
come
what's everybody's
from number
thoughts
10.
on what's coming. So
Will
I'm
he
expecting them
repeat
to
on the floor of the
hammer
House
us on capital
the
gains
claim
tax.
that none of his
And
advisors
then
has briefed against
they're going to
members
put people's
of the
wages
cabinet.
up and then claim that's positive, and then they're
Mr.
actually going to
Speaker,
keep.
I've been
I reckon they're going to keep the thresholds the same for
No one in
for
number
tax,
10 has briefed against
and they'll claim
cabinet
that's good. When
ministers.
really what they're doing is they're pushing more poor people into the zone where they have to pay
The
tax.
Health Secretary's doing a
Just push that
fantastic
volume
job.
down just a little bit, Matt, when we're talking, because it's difficult to
He stood
hear
before the
everything.
electorate just before
Yeah,
the
I
last
think you're
election.
absolutely
He
right,
said we'd
because if they
deliver
keep the tax
2
brackets the
million
same,
extra
but wages
appointments
go
to the
up, then
NHS
more
in the
people are
first
going
year
to
of a
be in a
Labour
higher rate
government.
of tax,
There
and
he
then
is.
more people are going to pay tax, and that's it. I mean, on paper, if you're reading it and seeing that people's wages are going up, that sounds great,
Yeah,
and they're keeping the
it's a
bands the
classic
same. That
squeeze.
sounds
They
great,
do it
but
all the
actually,
time.
it's going to affect
Yeah.
so many people.
Yeah, they'll just force more
Mr.
people into
Speaker,
paying tax.
The Prime Minister expects us to believe him. No,
It's like a
one
stealth
does.
tax, because
We
the
all
businesses
know
pay
that he
more.
did not have a
They
serious
cost
leak
it, and then more
inquiry.
people have to
What
pay
he
tax,
did,
therefore the
what he
government
did,
gets
Mr.
more
Speaker,
tax.
was he asked Morgan
Yeah,
McSweeney
Stu's saying
to
minimum wage
investigate
rise in
Morgan McSweeney,
2026.
and then-
Yeah.
And then Morgan
Obvious.
McSweeney
And
discovered
Yeah.
that Morgan McSweeney
But it's the
was
middlemen that are
innocent.
going to get battered. It's the
It always
middlemen.
is.
Yeah.
All of this calls
Won't be
into
the rich.
question
The rich don't pay
No.
tax, mate. So it'll be the people in the middle who are going to get absolutely slaughtered. I
All of
think.
this calls
I hope
into
I'm wrong.
Joe,
I hope
isn't
I'm
it?
totally wrong.
We read this weekend that he wants the former Deputy Prime Minister back in his cabinet. He must have forgotten that she had to resign only a few months
We've got
ago
another.
for tax
I've got
evasion.
about 10 more
When
minutes
did
of
the
Prime
Prime
Minister's
Minister
questions,
decide
and then
that
we're going straight to the budget.
lawbreakers can be
So
lawmakers?
we'll see how it gets.
Yeah.
I'm really fearful.
Yeah.
I'm not even a fearful type of guy. I'm not a negative guy. Most of the videos you ever see me make are positive. Even when there's something negative going on, I try and find a positive. But the way I'm feeling right now, I feel like they're going to have us off.
We're focusing on the cost of living, the single
And I think
most
us crypto
important
people.
So
because the
I'm
capital
keeping
gains
an
are about to
eye
get
on
big.
the
tittle-tattle.
yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the charts while we're on
It's not
this,
tittle-tattle,
and
Mr. Speaker. We
XRP
all
is
know
really
that
coming
he's
down. Let's have a
only
look at
talking
Bitcoin.
About welcoming the Deputy Prime Minister back
Yes,
because he
Matty,
is
Yeah,
Damien,
big
you're right,
red
brother.
candle.
his crumbling leadership. But if
Hey,
he
Matty.
were to welcome her back, will he
You know
set
he's
a
Welsh
condition
now, don't you?
that she must pay back
I do, yeah.
£50,000
Welsh. I'm going to buy him a
property
Welsh
taxes she
t-shirt
avoided,
for Christmas.
The same property taxes they're very happy to put on everyone else. And will she also return her £17,000 of severance pay?
Speaker, the former Deputy Prime Minister is the biggest social mobility story this country has ever told. She started from
I wonder how many
the
people are
beginnings
waiting for
of
this
the
budget
Porto
today,
way to the very top.
thinking if they
I'm very
push me one
proud
more
of what
time,
she's
I'm gone.
achieved in politics. I'm very proud of everything she's done.
Yeah, I
Lots
think
of
there are a
people.
lot of people
Lots
on
of
the
people.
edge at the moment.
That
There's a
sounds like a
lot
no,
of
Mr.
people on the
Speaker.
edge,
I
and I
never
think
heard the
that
Prime
a lot of
Minister
people
speak
just
so
feel
highly of
really
people
let down.
avoiding their taxes.
Oh,
But in summary,
Matty.
this just looks like
I think a lot of people feel let down.
It is a slow motion
Yeah.
I feel like we need a general election. I
His
feel like, but it's
cabinet
never going to
are
happen.
briefing
There's no
against
way
each
these lot are
other.
going to call a general
His
election.
MPs
But the
No,
honest answer
not a
is,
chance.
I don't think any of them are going to do any better.
Do
Like, do you remember how pissed off people were when we had Conservatives in? We've got Labour
Yeah.
in now, and people are even more angry.
that
Yeah.
he wants out.
What's the solution? It certainly isn't the Lib Dems. It's certainly not the Green Party. And I'm not even sure Reform have got it in the locker to run the country. So where'd you go from here? Like, that's how I feel at the moment.
I know.
Where the hell would you go from here?
And I think that's why people
are.
are feeling so despondent, because there is no real solution. And like I said yesterday on the stream, I feel like these guys are just putting a patch over it until the next government come in. And when the next government come in, they're going to try and repair the damage that's been done from the last one. And nobody's got a long-term solution.
100% right, she said. The most chaotic, damaging budget there's ever been. And she sticks by it. I'm very interested to see her response to this budget if she thinks Liz Truss got it right.
Yeah, Boris got sacked for a pint. Yeah, just saying, yeah.
I tell you what, when you look back now, Boris Johnson was doing a fantastic job, just none of us realised what crap was about to follow him.
Yeah.
None of us realised. Even I was a bit like, he's got to go now. He's got to go. But look what's happened after him. Who did we have after him? Was it Liz Truss?
Of what, for 30 odd days or something?
Yeah, then bloody whoever it was. Then Rishi. Somebody in between that as well, and now we've had this. Jesus Christ. I never thought I'd be seeing a day where I was going, bring back Bozza. Jesus Christ. But he did a fantastic job in hindsight.
Yeah, I mean, somebody here is saying there's Rupert Lowe advance, but no way they can run the country. I don't think they're big enough at the moment.
Exactly, mate. They can't run the country.
Support at the moment.
I totally agree with you. And it's not about policies. It's not about going, oh, I agree with that policy or this policy. You've got to look at them and go, mate, Labour haven't even got a front bench capable of leading the country. Go and look at the front bench of Labour. Go and see their history. Not one of them has ever run anything, ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
They know nothing about money, nothing about business. That's got to be the weakest front bench I've ever seen in British politics.
We've just
Ever.
seen in the leaked OBR documents that taxes are going up to a historic record.
Let's just say the UK is screwed at the moment. I think there's a lot of people feeling that,
Why
100%.
Labour is
She's saying 100%. I think he might be agreeing with me, I think.
Instead of fixing the
Yeah, I think that also what they're talking about at the moment, these leaked documents, these things shouldn't be leaked, really, should they? There should this information should come out in the right way.
What leaked documents?
They're saying about the budget being leaked already.
They do it on purpose. Every government does it. It's because it's to take the heat off the moment. They slowly released it, so all the drama's happened. There's no big drama after. They all play that game. It's just being on it.
The two things can't go together.
Right, what have we got here? If you've never run a company, you should be allowed to run. Shouldn't be allowed to run the country.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're absolutely right.
Which is why they should pay more.
Actually,
I've said this before. It's why they should pay politicians more. I know everybody thinks politicians earn a fortune. It's not. I earn more than the Prime Minister of the UK, which is disgusting in my opinion. Like, it doesn't make sense. So how on earth are you supposed to attract the elite quality business leaders of the UK, which, by the way, I'm nowhere near that, right? So if they couldn't afford to take me, how the hell are they supposed to go and get the people that are the best, the elite in our country when it comes to finance, strategy, negotiations, all the things that you want them to be? They're never going to take that job. They're going to take a massive pay cut, complete loss of privacy. Their families are going to lose privacy. The press are going to hound you. They ain't wanting them jobs, man. They're going to run their companies until they've made a load of money, and they're going to go sit on a beach somewhere. And it's wrong. It's the wrong way around, man. They should pay these guys more.
And like it or not, Matt, people will say that Trump's not the right guy, but he's got a hell of a lot of experience in running businesses because that's what he's done his entire life. And it's no coincidence that he is really, really driving down on economic growth now because that's his background and that's his experience. Whether you like Trump or not, you can't argue with the fact that he's coming from a completely different angle to a lot of politicians.
I tell you what's interesting what Trump did do. So Trump has refused to take any of the money for the position, which goes against what I just said. But what he did was he upped the money for every single one of the key members for him to run the country. They're all getting paid.
But he doesn't need the money, does he? He is in his own right a very wealthy man. And actually, I think that's commendable.
The point I'm making is the people in the key positions in America are all getting paid an absolute fortune. He's not. He's decided, I don't need your money, I don't want your money, I don't want a penny of it. But he's made sure he can afford to pay for the best, and that's the difference here. Like we're because MPs are getting an okay wage, you're getting okay people. They need to pay more. I wouldn't do it. Not a chance. Not a chance.
It's staggering that an important upgrade for drivers...
Liam saying, trouble is the economy will be in such a mess after this lot. People want quick progress, and if they don't get it, they will vote out the next lot. So we go on. We're finished here.
Yeah, in the
and
cycle.
it is that cycle. It's the cycle, and it's not breaking at the moment. It's just a repetitive cycle. Every 4 years, nobody is taking on the task of actually long-term change and long-term management of these problems. And whilst we've got this system where every 4 years we get changed and people come at it with a different angle, then that doesn't get solved, because somebody could come in now and make all these changes, and then the next election will come and the next people will change it again. It's a broken system, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's completely broken. Totally agree.
It's because there is no social care package for them to go to. This is terrible for them, puts strain on the trust, and is ruinous to the taxpayer. Given there is no urgent plan...
I'd love to be the guy in the corner doing the sign language.
But you can't sign, so...
Yeah, but I'd give it a good go. You know what I mean? I would try and make it up.
Enthusiasm
Can I do
beats
that?
skill.
Let me edit your next YouTube video, and I'll put me in the corner going...
I feel like that's not very supportive for the deaf community, though, Matt. It might make people laugh, though, but...
I'll get Mooney on it.
Yes. Yeah, he's an awesome person.
Do you know his sister's the person in the bottom of the corner of the TV on the BBC? The woman.
Yeah, I do.
That's his sister,
Yeah.
500 million for the first ever fair pay agreement to properly
The unique person, him. So he grew up with two deaf parents.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So speaking English is his second language. BSL is his first language as a baby.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which
and
is
he's not
crazy.
deaf.
And
can't
the
be many of
stories he
him.
used to
There
tell
can't be
me
many of
about
him.
he would have parties when his parents had gone to bed because they couldn't hear.
How would the Prime Minister entrust the values of this Labour
What a guy.
government
What a
with
guy.
reform
I like
party
Mooney.
dividing our country and hitting
The charts are coming down at the moment, and I'm not sure if it is coincidental. I'm surprised to see this.
Well, my XRP trade's now at 55%.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's an advantage for everybody in the short at the moment.
Right, we've got any more comments here? Let's go and have a look. Boris Johnson stopped the war in the Ukraine, but he didn't. Yeah, I heard it. Someone says, I live next door to a Corbyn fan who hates brown people. Go figure.
Wow.
That person's more confused than Scooby-Doo then, aren't they? If you've never run a company, you shouldn't be allowed to run a country. We've done that one. We took a 22 billion load to service an 18 billion debt. We need to start selling something or we're cooked. What are we going to sell?
Yeah.
He may want to forget that.
But if you look at what I keep harping back to Trump, because I feel like he's doing things that are slightly different to other countries at the moment. But he's potentially going to create a Bitcoin reserve to try and pay off the national debt of the USA. So at least there's a plan. Whether or not he's going to be able to pull that off, I don't know.
Matty at a rave is not sign language. I don't know, mate.
So Leroy Huff says the only sign language I know is not sociably acceptable.
I could try and fit it in. This is an interesting comment from Jug Jones. That's a great name, by the way. I invested in crypto to actually try and get out of this broken system, and all they're doing is lassoing us, trying to keep us here. Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of people, with the movement of crypto and the aim of crypto in the first instant was to move away from governments and centralised finance, wasn't it? But that is integrating more and more with mass adoption and regulation, and we're going to see some huge changes in what the ethos of crypto really was. And I think you've got the people from the original days that are not going to be supportive of this new movement in the same way as new crypto investors maybe will be.
That principle will be central to our reforms.
It's not fair. Yeah, no, I understand that.
Last week, Roman Osborne, a 10-year-old in my constituency, hand-delivered a letter to 10 Downing Street to tell the Prime Minister about an accident that he had outside his primary school at Trimley St Martin in February, which left him spending 3 days in hospital and many, many more months recovering. Mr. Speaker, will the Prime Minister back my campaign, Safer at the Gates, and will he call on...
Matt, when we get this speech on, could you move the comments?
...and re-review the road and put the right safety measures in place outside Trimley St Martin
Moving
and
well
Awesome.
in my constituency?
Yeah, brilliant.
Can I thank her for that and thank Roman for his letter, which I took time to read last night. And I wanted just to read a short sentence from it. From Roman.
So we've got Bitcoin now down to 86,381 on the chart I'm looking at.
Place to cross the road. I'm concerned for other children's safety, and I don't want another accident like mine to happen again to anyone else. Mr. Speaker, what an incredible young boy, aged just 10. I totally agree with him, and I say to Roman, this is what we're going
Matty here says, Trump said we're sat on one of the biggest energy fields in the world 2 weeks ago. We need to start our energy again.
And the Roads Minister will be happy.
Yeah, we need to look at production of revenue in the UK more and more, I think.
Mr. Speaker, this morning I met with farmers on Whitehall, and on Saturday farmers supplying milk to family-run White Farms who have been making traditional cheddar cheese near Bruton for 160 years. They all told me, Mr. Speaker, the family farm tax as it stands will devastate their businesses. So if he really wants growth, will the Prime Minister listen to farmers,
Right,
industry,
hell,
the
sorry about that, I was
EFRA
stealing
Select
something.
Committee, even his own MPs, and pause and rethink this damaging and regressive tax?
But I mean, I don't know if you're listening to what she's saying. She's talking about farmers' taxes, and that's another issue completely, isn't it? Because the farming industry supports our economy, and if we're going to price out farmers, then we've got a real problem in our hands.
So, last night on the stream inside the Wolfpack, there's a new member. I can't remember his name actually. It might have been Liam, essentially.
Liam's here on the live today.
And he was explaining that the day before, or the week before, I think it was, they announced all the farmers' taxes on charge from Bill Gates and whoever turned up. And they did exactly the same thing in America when they had a problem, when they taxed all their farmers. They sent an on-charge to go and talk to them about it. And Bill Gates and that are the largest landowners in America of buying up farmland, and they reckon they're doing the same thing in the UK. They're trying to send the farmers bus to take their land.
Wow.
That's scary if that's
Wow.
true.
And what's the long-term solution for that? Bill Gates producing weird food for us to all eat.
I don't want his weird food.
No, I don't want his weird food
Unless
either.
his weird food is a Rustler's burger, because I'm quite partial to one of them.
Oh yeah, I didn't realise. Stu says it's safe to say they're taxing the wrong industries. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
She's right. The report is a sombre moment, and it's important to remember the scale of suffering and the scale
Green energy to mine crypto and cheap fossil energy to help the cost of living crisis. Win-win. Yeah. Liam said it was Larry Fink.
Larry Fink, that was it.
Yeah.
Mr. Speaker, we're committed to learning the lessons needed.
Right, should we all take a vote? How long this hoodie, it's brand new today, stays white before I get a food stain on it? Because I am notorious for destroying white clothing. And then I feel, whenever it happens, then I feel depressed. I'm like, you don't deserve nice things. You've got chicken wing juice down the front of it or whatever it is. I didn't even that t-shirt. Do you remember you bought me the Billionaire Boys Club t-shirt? 140 quid t-shirt or whatever. And I got...
Yeah, and you got sun cream all over it.
Sun cream, yes, sun cream. Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, sun cream is a necessity. I just shouldn't have worn that t-shirt on that day at that moment. Destroyed it.
No.
I do it so many times. Why I've bought myself a lovely white hoodie. It's not until I've put it on today and I've gone, you can't have white clothes, mate.
You need a bib.
Scooby bib.
Chocolate cherries all over that new top. Yeah, absolutely right, Stu.
Talking about chocolate cherries, we ain't had a few in a while, Paula. If we can dish them
It's
out.
because I'm hiding them.
All I'm going to say to you is, it's better to share than I steal.
That's true. That's true.
In the defence sector, which is hugely important to our country and our security. I can confirm we're continuing with the establishment procurement
Matty
process.
Demons, it's 36
for
minutes.
The new medium helicopter programme
36
to
minutes of
deliver
what?
modern equipment for our armed forces. That's part of the biggest sustained.
Hopefully not 36 minutes more of Prime Minister's questions.
I don't think it is.
To see a defence dividend
I think it's
of
half past.
investment in British jobs
Finishes
and
him.
apprentices,
Wait, actually, there's a
including
thing on the right.
his constituency.
Well, sorry, the screen. 1 second.
That
I
builds
you
on
can't
the
see that, but I
£8
can. Hang
billion
on.
Typhoon deal that we've secured, the $4 billion maritime deal with Indonesia, and the $10 billion frigate deal with Norway.
Oh shit! Have I just moved that?
You have, yeah.
Let me go and put it back. Hang on.
I joined Wensfield Men walking and talking on International Men's Day. A fantastic
Is it back in place now?
Yeah, that's better.
There we go. Yeah, you can't see actually. It's just like a running commentary of what's going on in text form on the right side.
Age of pressure, polarisation, and endless phone scrolling. They bring
Oh, 36 minutes until I destroy this top.
Oh.
So I actually had a burger for lunchtime, and
Yeah.
I went to get the sauce out, and I went, no. No, no sauce. I've had a dry
Was it a
burger for lunch.
Rustlers?
I had a dry burger for lunch. This is going to survive the first day. Has to be. I'm going to take it off for tea. I'm not wearing it.
Well, yeah. Chicken curry and that top is not
Ah,
going
is
to
that
go
what
down
we've
very
got
well.
as well? Please don't let me forget. I'll be so annoyed.
I'm going to buy you one of them Scoopy bibs, like the babies have.
Like a big one. Can I have one with an XRP and Bitcoin logo in the middle of it?
Oh, I mean, I'm not sure that they make those bibs for adults, but we'll see what we can find. Maybe we can get one custom for you.
About their experiences is so powerful and inspires more to do the same.
Get him a bib, yeah, exactly, Stu, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Consequential.
Right, let's just keep an eye on these charts as well while we're here. Oh, we're having a little bit of a pullback. Okay.
Of Putin's assessment.
Just looking at the charts now.
I've got it completely wrong, so let me do it without notes. There we are. What a day to do it. So, President, I can't. I've completely lost it.
Yeah, this trade's still doing all right. Oh, 52%. Take that. I'm in an XRP short, by the way, if anyone's asking. Using our Wolf automation. We're now currently at the stage of going to a POC or proof of concept group. So there's I think there's about 25 of the Wolfpack community members that are going to be using the automation totally for free for a certain amount of months while we can gather data from a lot of people ready for us when we go to market. So they're benefiting from it completely for free. We're benefiting from them helping us do the proof of concept because it's all right me doing it, or Stu, the developer, doing it, or Paula doing it. But we need real people that aren't connected with the project. So we've got a team of about 25 called the POC group out of the Wolfpack. And right now, we're currently set up 58% on that one.
Awesome.
Take that one.
All else, and I take it extremely
Mr. Potato says hi.
Mr. Potato. Oh, it's XRP Potato Corso. I've worked out, by the way, the last word is about the dog.
Yes, in the picture.
So I'm guessing it's XRP, and I'm wondering whether his Corso is called Potato.
Ben Coleman. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My
Maybe. You have to let us know in the comments.
Or just he likes XRPs and potatoes and Corsos, and he's put all three of his favourite things in his name.
So does the Prime Minister
somebody here says you smell.
Yeah, that's Dalton or James
Yeah.
Taylor.
Is for the government to be
I probably smell how he looks.
Negotiating with the European Union.
Matty Demon, he's finding you a bib. He's on it.
And trade barriers that have been holding back UK businesses, especially small and medium-sized ones, since the Conservatives poorly managed exit from the European Union.
Matt is saying he didn't like your cooking. The cupboards are packed out with rustlers. LOL. Yeah, that's fine. That might mean I have to do less cooking, and I'm all right with that.
Relations.
Hey, James.
The deal we've struck is worth £9 billion for our economy in 2040.
So we're just waiting for the announcement. We'll get these Prime Minister's questions out of the way.
Do you know how good it is that I could use one of these on camera and not get in trouble like TikTok? It's so good. So good.
Did anybody notice the MP that completely fluffed his questions? He'd got the wrong questions in front of him, and then he couldn't remember what he was going to talk about. He's missed his opportunity.
What a plum! This is what I mean. Pay peanuts, get monkeys.
Yeah, literally. He says his Corso is called Titan, but I do love XRP and potatoes.
Imagine saying
Yeah.
What am I going to call myself on YouTube? Mind you, well, I can't say anything. I'm called Milkshakematty, you know. But yeah, I'm going to be called XRP Potato.
Chippy tea tonight if you can afford it. Well, yeah, we've just won our automation trade, so we're all right today.
I've currently got, well, I probably shouldn't say that now. I've got thousands of pounds worth of long trades on at the moment on low leverage, so we could do with the market bouncing right now. No matter have a chippy tea tomorrow as well, babe.
Yeah. Well, Matty Demon says that he's always had a chef cooking his shizzle. Yeah, a damn good cook. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that coming from a chef.
Yeah, Mum. I've always had a chef. I've had a chef in my life.
Yeah. Job Jones, do you think crypto and blockchain will ever be taught at school environment to our children? Well, it is being taught in some countries throughout the world. So I would hope that would roll down, because I think having worked in the UK education system, some of the curriculum is not as relevant to what the children actually probably need in their lives moving forward. good, and I hope they have an overhaul of that, really, because I think we need to be preparing our children in the best way we possibly can for the environment we've got now. Technology has moved on so much; it's so advanced. If we don't keep these children up to date, a massive proportion of children are going to be behind, and that's a missed opportunity, in my opinion.
So the government will roll it out into schools when they can use it as an opportunity to explain control. So, for instance, if they start using blockchain technology to catch benefit frauds, or use blockchain technology to, I don't know, like CBDCs with money and stuff like that. Then they'll roll it out into this system. That's when
and I think that is coming. I think that the amount of blockchain technology that's going to be in people's lives is going to be massive, and I don't think people are even going to realise it. And I get loads of people on my social media saying, I'm not interested in crypto. And I think, oh God, just educate yourself as to what it is. It's not just about buying coins. It's not just about investments. It's about all the technology behind it and how that is going to affect the infrastructure of everything we do on a day-to-day basis.
Do you know what I've learned though? Never talk to somebody about crypto that doesn't want to talk to you about crypto.
Yeah.
Don't bother.
Yeah.
Because they'll come to you. One day they'll go, you know that crypto thing? Can you tell me all about it?
You keep banging on about it for years.
Your day has come. I knew you'd arrive at my doorstep sooner or later. Take a seat. But yeah, never try and preach because it doesn't work.
No, exactly.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. On a point of order, Madam Deputy Speaker. This morning,
is it just me that can hear them, by the way, or can you guys hear them?
No, I can hear them, so I'm assuming everyone else can hear it.
A lot.
Before the budget.
Stu says, at school being taught you'll never always have a calculator in your pocket. Yeah, that's what they used to say, wasn't it, when we were at school? And you won't have someone to know all the answers.
That's a lie.
And ChatGPT, how times have changed. And this is kind of what I'm saying. Technology is moving so fast, but the schooling system is not keeping up with it. Most people I talk to about it thinks it's a scam.
Yeah, because once upon a time there was so many scams, and once upon a time criminals were using it, and so that's
but
a hangover
still
from an
so
old
many
argument.
scams. There is still so many scammers. There's still so many hackers, and I get it. But what I think people fail to understand is that the blockchain technology is so advanced, and it could help so many systems that we're currently using. And I think that it's only going to move that way moving forward.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it's been demonised, yeah.
Yeah, totally demonised. You have to remember it was demonised at the beginning on purpose.
And I expect members and their constituents.
Here we go, budget statement. Let me turn them up now.
Chancellor directly.
Because I can't hear what you hear, Paula. Tell me if it's too loud, okay?
I nonetheless wish to make a short statement.
Yeah, it's too loud.
For a number of weeks, and yet again yesterday, there have been extensive briefings to the media on the government's fiscal policy and public finances. This disappointing trend in relation to budget briefings has been growing for a number of years under successive governments, but appears to have reached an unprecedented high. Weeks ago, we saw the Chancellor delivering a speech in Downing Street, setting the scene for the budget, as well as specific policy announcements being briefed out to the media in advance of today's financial statement.
If that's true, what Dalton's saying, not good.
I don't need any help.
All right, look.
And just a moment ago, good
for her.
Fuck her, she told me off.
This all falls short of standards that the House expects. The premature disclosure of the contents of the budget has always been regarded as a supreme discourtesy to this House and to all the democratically elected members, not to mention to Mr. Speaker and to myself, the Chairman of Ways and Means. The government's own ministerial code cannot be clearer, as set out in paragraph 9.1. When Parliament is in session, the most important announcements of government policy
Oh no, you
should be
found the
made in
sound
first
block, didn't you?
To Parliament. Mr. Speaker has always upheld the rights of this House and its members to be treated with respect and to be the first to hear major government policy announcements on behalf of their constituents.
Where's the old guy? Order! Order! I used to like him.
He was here earlier. I think he got annoyed and left.
And the ensuing resolutions, which are described in Erskine May, paragraph 36-33, as the most important business of Ways and Means.
Posh people normally
House.
make my skin crawl, but I used to like him.
Honourable
I thought he was
members
funny.
on all sides of the House to have adequate opportunity
to hold the Chancellor to account rather than hear and read about new policies on a daily basis in the media. And like many, I also expected better.
I think she's kind of right in what she's saying, though. There is a process, and it shouldn't be leaked.
Copies of the budget
It should be announced
to them from
in
the
the right way.
office in members' lobby at the end of the Chancellor's statement and online. I also remind honourable members that interventions are not taken during the Chancellor's statement, nor during replies to the Leader of the Opposition or the Leader of the Liberal Democrats. I call the Chancellor.
Let me put it up and have a look. Oh, we're cheering. Hang on.
Oh my God, you can't be trusted with that.
Madam Deputy Speaker.
Chancellor.
Madam Deputy Speaker, it is my understanding that the Office of Budget Responsibility's Economic and Financial Outlook was released on their website before this statement. This is deeply disappointing and a serious error on their part. The Office...
Who leaked it? Sorry, I missed it.
The Office of Budget Responsibility have already made a statement taking full responsibility for their breach. Madam Deputy Speaker, we are rebuilding our economy. Over the last 16 months, we have overhauled our planning system to get Britain
Bend over.
building.
Here it comes.
Forged new trade deals with the United States, India and the European Union. Reformed our visa system to bring the brightest and the best to Britain. We changed our fiscal rules that we inherited from the Conservatives and raised public investment to its highest level in 4 decades. And in last year's budget, I raised taxes on business and the wealthiest to close the £22 billion black hole in the public finances left by the party opposites. And we used that money to fund the biggest ever settlement for our National Health Service. They were the fair and necessary choices, and we faced opposition to them, from opponents to planning reform, who will always demand that the future is built somewhere else, not in their backyard.
They don't need to mention crypto, mate.
Opponents to
Capital
trade,
gains
who want to take
and
us down the path
income
of
tax.
isolation and
That's how we
division.
get taxed, bro.
Opponents to investment, who believe that the only good thing a government can do is get out of the way. Opponents who insist that the only way to balance the books is to cut public spending. And opponents who say that we don't need to balance the books at all. But we made these choices for a reason.
100%, Bobby.
Because after
That's exactly what they
14
leak
years
it,
of
then they
Conservative
tweak it.
government, working people demanded and deserved change. Investment, not cuts to our public services. Stability for our public finances. The single most important factor in getting the cost of living down. And economic growth, the best means to improve wages, create jobs and support public services. That is what our plan, that is what this government and our Prime Minister are all about. Today's budget builds on the choices that we have made since July last year. To cut NHS waiting lists, to cut the cost of living, and to cut debt and borrowing. No doubt we will face opposition again, but I have yet to see a credible or a fairer alternative plan for working people.
Can you still hear me?
These are my choices, the right
Managed to
choices
get rid of the echo now.
for a fairer,
Here we go.
a
She
stronger
goes.
and more secure Britain.
Order. Far too much noise, and I expected so much better from you, Dr. Luke Evans.
Called out.
Simmer down, Chancellor.
She's naughty. She's a naughty one.
I'm happy for them to shout as much as they like, Madam Deputy Speaker, as long as they do it from the opposition benches where they can't cause any more damage. I
She's
said
a rat,
there'd be
this
no
one, isn't she?
return to austerity, and I meant it. This budget will maintain investment in our economy and in our National Health Service. I said I would cut the cost of living.
Investment
and
from
I
where?
meant it.
Us.
This
Taxes.
budget will bring down inflation and provide immediate relief for families. I said I would cut debt and borrowing, and I meant it. Because of this budget, borrowing will fall as a share of GDP in every year of this forecast. Our net financial debt will be lower at the end of the forecast than it is today, and I will more than double the headroom against our stability rule to £21.7 billion, meeting our stability rule and meeting it a year early. These are my choices, not austerity, not borrowing, not turning a blind eye to unfairness. My choices are a budget for fair taxes, strong public services and a stable economy. That is the Labour choice.
I hope he's talking about the government, not us.
Growth is the engine which carries every one of our ambitions.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Through stability, investment and reform. The platform from which British ambition can finally get moving again. Because growth doesn't just appear out of thin air.
Yeah, apologies for the snoring dog. This microphone is...
patiently and stubbornly.
He's got to sit in
by
one of the
people who
rooms with
take
one of
risks.
us. Oh.
I know.
By founders who bet their savings on an idea. By firms breaking into new markets, developing new technologies and creating new jobs and new opportunities. By the men and the women who work hard every day in all parts of our country. Our job is not to watch from the sidelines, but to partner with them, backing them every step of the way.
Let us know in the comments.
To match
It's like love or
private
hate.
enterprise
If you love
with
or hate this
public
government.
ambition. I would like to thank my team of officials at the Treasury for their hard work in preparing this budget. In the spring, the Office of Budget Responsibility forecast that our economy would grow by 1% this year. I said then that Britain would defy the forecasts, and defy them we have. The OBR have upgraded Britain's growth for this year from 1% to 1.5%. Reaching the same conclusion.
Who paid them to do that?
As the IMF, the OECD and the Bank of England who have already upgraded. Today, the OBR have published the result of their review of the supply side of the economy. They are clear.
No love for the
that
government yet.
This is not about the last 14 months. It is about the previous 14
She's just
years.
getting warmed up, Andy. It's about to happen now.
The legacy of
He's a
Brexit
massage
and
ego
the
massaging at the
and
moment.
the damaging decisions by the party opposite. Cutting public spending, leaving communities and entire regions behind, starving our economy of investment and weakening our public services. As a result of their review, the OBR are reducing their expectations for productivity growth by 0.3 percentage points to 1% by the end of the forecast. They say today, and I quote, real GDP is forecast to grow by 1.5% on average over the forecast due to lower underlying productivity growth. There is an impact on our public finances too. The OBR say that their productivity forecast will mean £16 billion less in tax receipts by 2030.
In the crypto community, mate, they call him Crypto Dog. They've named him Crypto Dog,
forecasts
mate.
are the Tories' legacy, not Britain's destiny.
Order. It is very hard to hear the Chancellor over all the shouting. And Mr. Holmes, you promised me yesterday you were going to be on top behaviour in the first few minutes. Chancellor.
We beat the forecasts this year and we will beat them again. By boosting trade, not blocking it. By increasing investment, not cutting it. By championing innovation, not stifling it.
I bet she was a rower.
By backing working people,
She's
not
got the shoulders
making
for it.
them poorer. Brick by brick, we've been building our economy. Building roads, building homes, getting spades in the
I haven't seen
ground
very
and
many
cranes
road
in
repairs
the
where we
sky.
are.
Growth begins with the spark of an entrepreneur.
I think our roads
Half
are
of
bad.
new jobs in Britain are
Venture
created
into
by
Wolverhampton,
scale-up
mate.
businesses.
Wow.
And we want those
Birmingham
jobs
just needs some
created
bin men.
here, not somewhere else.
They've gone bust. Birmingham's
Our
actually
job
gone bust. The whole
is to
council.
make Britain the best place in the world to start up, to scale up and to stay. So we're widening eligibility for our enterprise incentives, so scale-ups can attract the talent and the capital that they need. Expanding the enterprise management incentive so more companies can offer tax-relieved share options. Re-engineering our enterprise investment and venture capital trust schemes so they don't just back early-stage ideas, but stay with companies as they grow. Introducing UK listings relief.
My XRP
a
short's now on
3-year
64%
exemption from
profit.
Stamp duty reserved
Awesome.
for companies who choose to list here in Britain. And to continue this work, I am launching a call for evidence on how our tax system can better back entrepreneurs, and a targeted review with founders and investors at the heart to make the UK an even more attractive place to grow your business. We are sending a simple message to the world. If you build here, Britain will back you. And our retail investment system should do the same. The UK has some of the lowest levels of retail investment in the G7. And that is not only bad for business, who need that investment to grow, it's bad for savers too. Someone who has invested £1,000 a year in an average stocks and shares ISA every year since 1999 would be £50,000 better off today if they'd put that same money into if they'd put the same money into a cash ISA.
What about to put it into
And
Bitcoin,
so
love?
From April 2027, I will reform our ISA system, keeping the full £20,000 allowance while designating 8,000 of it exclusively for investment, with over 65s retaining the full cash allowance. And thanks to our changes to financial advice and guidance, banks will be able to guide savers to better choices for their hard-earned money. Over 50% of the ISA market, including Hargreaves Lansdown, HSBC, Lloyds, Vanguard and Barclays, have signed up to launch new online hubs to help people invest here in Britain.
See, there's nothing wrong with an ISA, and actually they are giving more ISA
At this
breaks. It's not a
budget,
bad thing. I'll give it
consistent
that.
with the commitments in our corporate tax roadmap, I will retain our competitive corporation tax rate, the lowest in the G7, and retain our generous full expensing offer for business investments. I will also introduce a new 40% first-year allowance so that businesses can write off more of the cost of their investment up front, while reducing mainline rate writing down allowances in line with fiscal constraints. Private investment is the lifeblood of economic growth, but growth needs public investment too.
Here we go.
When faced with challenges, previous chancellors have chosen to decrease, delay or cancel capital spending. But low investment is the cause of our productivity problem, not the solution.
I agree with her there.
So
Even though I
my
don't like
choice
her, I
is
agree
not
with what
cuts,
she's saying.
Not stagnation, but to maintain the additional £120 billion of investment that I provided at the spending review.
No, we're not increasing them, we're just maintaining.
In transport, to link our towns and our cities. Energy infrastructure to power our businesses. And housing, so people can live near good jobs, paying decent wages and growing businesses. That is the Labour choice. I'm grateful to the Financial Secretary to the Treasury for his work in driving our growth agenda forward. As we allocate
I haven't heard
investment
anything
for
that's
the
going to raise any
infrastructure
money yet.
that is the backbone of economic
Guys, do us a
growth
favour.
across
Can you
our
hit that
country.
like button on the videos?
Today,
It'll help the
I will
algorithm
commit
for us.
investment for
Thank
the
you,
Lower
guys.
Thames Crossing. And we're continuing to drive investment in city region transport, in the Midlands Rail Hub and the Transpennine Route upgrade, along with our commitments to the Northern Growth Corridor, including Northern Powerhouse Rail. It is this Labour government that has overhauled our planning system, and I will today provide further funding to increase planning capacity through a new skills offer, as called for by the British Chamber of Commerce
in a minute.
and the Confederation
She's doing
of
the
British
nice bit
Industry.
first. So she's giving everybody everything.
It is this Labour government that has invested in nuclear power, in Sizewell C and in Culham. We are taking forward our commitment to slash electricity prices for
Thanks for those likes,
of
guys.
manufacturing
Appreciate you guys.
businesses. As Make UK
And if you're not
and many
subscribed to our
others
channels,
have
give them a
called for.
subscribe as well.
And
We'd really
today I'm
appreciate it.
Yeah,
pleased
if you
to
look in the
welcome John
descriptions
Finkelton's
of
report,
each
An
video, because there's two
ambitious plan
streams
to
here, one
cut
on mine
the
and one on
red tape that has
Paula's.
tied our
But if you look in the
nuclear
description of the
industry in
video,
knots for
there's links to
decades.
both of us if you're
And
not
within
following the
3
other one.
months, we will set out our plan for delivering his
Marky Mark,
recommendations.
I love him.
Hey, Mark.
We are proud of our industrial heritage, and we are determined to build the industry of the future so that we buy, make and sell more here in Britain.
Here. Sounds like Dean.
That's why, as we increase defence spending, we are investing in Portsmouth, in Barrow and in Plymouth. And I'm pleased to be supporting Team Derby, an initiative to drive growth in one of our defence industry hubs. It's why we stepped in to save British Steel in Scunthorpe and invested in Sheffield Forgemasters.
You mean the Americans
And
stepped
it's why
in?
we've changed government procurement so we can buy British when it is crucial to our national security.
We stepped in with Trump's money.
For steel,
Didn't mention that, did you?
for shipbuilding, and today for AI, driving innovation and building that great industry here in Britain. But it's not
Absolutely,
just
Liam.
what we invest that matters, it's how we invest. Putting money and power back in the hands of local and regional leaders.
How did that
Today,
pan out
we
for
are
Birmingham?
devolving £13 billion of flexible funding for 7 mayors to invest in skills, business support and infrastructure.
Name the mayors.
I'm extending the business rates retention pilots in the West of England, Liverpool City region and Cornwall until 2029. I'm providing £30 million for the Kernow Industrial Growth Fund for sectors like critical minerals and marine innovation. I am establishing the Leeds City Fund, a long-term agreement to retain business rates to fund local regeneration projects like the development of Leeds South Bank, and I am allocating £20 million for the new Peterborough Sports Quarter and £16 million for a science centre in Darlington from the Growth Mission Fund.
That's a great idea,
The benefits of
Lake
investment.
Life.
Yeah, 100%.
The benefits of investment and growth must be built and felt in every part of our United Kingdom.
I'll get comfy now.
So we are providing an additional £370 million for the Northern Ireland Executive.
From where?
£505 million
From us,
for
in
the
a minute.
Welsh
We're going to pay
Government,
for it in a minute, Bob.
and £820 million for the Scottish Government over the spending review period through the Barnett formula. And I am making... Sorry, I didn't quite catch that from the SNP. Did they not?
It's like Panto for idiots, isn't it?
I know, yeah.
They didn't hear. 800 over the spending review period because Anna Sawa asked us to. And I'm making targeted investments in our industrial strategy sectors across the UK. In Northern Ireland, I am providing £17 million to support businesses and strengthen the UK internal market, and backing advanced manufacturing through the Northern Ireland Enhanced Investment Zone. Wales will be the host for 2 AI growth zones, creating more than 8,000 jobs.
Wow.
Supported by a £10 million investment in the semiconductors critical for that industry.
Fair play. I like that.
Yeah, brilliant.
We are building the UK's first small modular nuclear reactors with Rolls-Royce at Wilfer in Anglesey. 2 Labour governments working together in Wales to deliver for the people of Wales. And in Scotland, I'm committing over £14 million for low-carbon technologies in Grangemouth, £20 million to renew infrastructure at Inchgreen in Inverclyde, and £20 million to redevelop Kirkcaldy Town Centre and Seafront.
Kirkcaldy? Where the hell is that?
Next year. And that's on top of the UK's biggest ever warship export deal with the Norwegian government to build frigates in Glasgow. Supporting 4,000 jobs. Investment opposed by the SNP. Jobs opposed by the SNP. Defence opposed by the SNP. But secured by this Labour government. A growing economy needs strong foundations of economic stability, with borrowing, inflation down and investment up. That is good for business, and it is good for working people, so they have more money in their pockets. Economic stability, safeguarded by ironclad fiscal rules, is our best defence against rising prices and the best way to improve living standards.
Where she
We've all
lives.
seen the alternative. 3 years ago, in their clamour to cut taxes for the richest, the Tories under Liz Truss crashed the economy and sent mortgage rates spiralling and brought pensions to the brink.
She was only here 39 days.
How much damage could she do?
Calm yourself down, man. She basically redecorated her
They're being
new
so
bedroom,
loud,
and that was
Madam
it.
Deputy Speaker, and yet I can't even hear them now.
Nothing she said, in my
I know
opinion, is
that-
bad yet.
I know that
but
the
we've got to
leader
work out
of
how
the
we
Green
what they do.
Party is
Yeah,
a keen hypnotherapist, and he believes that he can achieve remarkable things using only the power of his mind. Unfortunately, the only things getting bigger under his approach would be the deficit and the rate of inflation. And for all the damage that the Conservative cuts did to our schools and our hospitals, they also doubled the national debt. Our net financial debt this year will be £2.6 trillion, 83% of GDP, meaning that today, 1 in every £10 that government spends is on debt interest. Not on paying down that debt, but just on paying the interest on the
wild.
debt that we inherited
That is
from
wild.
the Conservatives.
Crazy man.
My fiscal rules will get borrowing down while supporting investment. The stability rule.
Let's see, they all say this.
Day-to-day expenditure must be met through tax receipts.
Here we go.
And the investment rule, which allows me to increase investment whilst getting debt on a downward path. Those fiscal rules are non-negotiable. I met them at the budget last year, I met them in the spring, and I have met them today. While the current budget balance is in deficit by £28.8 billion in 26-27 and £4.6 billion in 27-28, it moves into a surplus of £3.9 billion in 28-29, £21.7 billion in 29-30, and £24.6 billion in 2030-31. More than doubling our headroom against the stability rule and meeting that rule a year early too. And our net financial debt is 83.3% in 26-27, 83.6% in 27-28, 83.7% in 28-29, falling to 83.0% in 29-30 and 82.2% in 2030-31. Madam Deputy Speaker, I said we would cut the debt, and we are, with debt down by the end of the forecast. And going forwards, to support our commitment to a single fiscal event and further strengthen our economic stability, I will follow the recommendations of the International Monetary Fund by assessing the fiscal rules just once a year at the budget.
Yeah, Liam, you're absolutely
Despite the
right.
challenges we face on productivity, the path of our deficit reduction remains broadly the same as in spring. Public sector net borrowing is due to be £112.1 billion, or 3.5% of GDP in 26-27, 3% in 27-28, 2.6% in 28-29, 1.9% in 29-30, and 1.9% in 2030-31, ending at £67.2 billion. Translating into an increase in the net cash requirement next year of £4.2 billion, taking the total to £133.3 billion. According to the IMF, we are due to reduce borrowing more over the rest of this Parliament than any other G7 economy. The Conservatives crashed the economy, we are protecting it. The Conservatives lost control of debt, we are getting debt down. The Conservatives let inflation and interest rates go through the roof. But, Madam Deputy Speaker, since Labour took office, the Bank of England have cut interest rates 5 times. I've made my choices. Not reckless borrowing, not dangerous cuts, but stability for our economy, security for our public finances, and security for family finances too. Those are the Labour choices. Madam Deputy Speaker, Tory austerity left classrooms crumbling and waiting lists sky high, weakened our productivity and choked our economic growth. And now they propose a further £47 billion of cuts to our public services. Well, that is equivalent to cutting every police officer in our country twice over. And then there is
I think he's talking about you, Paula.
Who promise more than £100 billion of cuts with no details of where those cuts will come from or who will pay for them. A recipe for devastating damage to our public services. People voted for Labour because they wanted roads that aren't full of potholes. They want police on our streets and they want an NHS that is there when they need it.
She's taking the piss.
And we're delivering that. Waiting lists down by 230,000.
Fuck off. Have
And
you
not
been
just
to a
the
hospital
2 million
recently?
additional appointments we promised, but an additional 5.2 million.
So she's not telling
appointments
everyone that
already
actually what they've
delivered
done is
since
just
the general
have
election.
turned it into private appointments, and they're paying for those rather
I
than
joined the
NHS
Labour
ones.
Party almost 30 years ago because I could see that the Conservative government that I grew up under didn't care much about schools like mine. Textbooks were rationed. I know that many of you weren't at schools like mine.
Order!
It's much better in schools now.
Oh yeah, schools are wonderful now, Labour in.
Chancellor.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear what the Tories did to schools like mine, but I will tell them. Textbooks rationed, libraries closed, kids herded into porta cabins in the playground, and I came into politics to change that. The money that I allocated at the spending review will fix the crumbling classrooms that the Conservatives left behind and build the schools that they promised but never delivered. And today, thanks to representations from my honourable friends, the members for Wolverhampton North East and Leeds South West and Morley, I will provide £5 million for libraries in secondary schools, building on the £10 million commitment to ensure that every primary school has a school library within this Parliament. And thanks to representations from my honourable friends, the members for Bournemouth East and from Luton North, I am providing £18 million to improve and upgrade playgrounds across England. Madam Deputy Speaker, let there be no doubt that this is a government that is on the side of our kids and who will back their potential. I will not allow the legacies of Conservative neglect to stain our society. Last year, I made changes to the Mine Workers Pension Scheme to ensure that its members receive the fair pensions that they are owed. This year, with thanks to the Minister for Pensions for all his work in this subject, I can go further. I have heard representations from Labour Coalfield MPs, including my honourable friends, the members for Bassetlaw, Blythe and Ashington, Barnsley South, Mansfield and Llanelli. And today I can announce that I will transfer the Investment Reserve Fund of the British
My granddad had a
Coal
heart
Staff
attack. He's 92 years of
Superannuation
age last
Scheme
week. He had
its
to wait
members,
35 hours for a bed.
so that the men and the women who worked in our coal industry get a fair deal in their retirement too. And more.
She's not popular in our chat, mate, I'm telling you.
What is this bitch?
I hope he's talking about her, not us.
I will index for inflation on pensions accrued before 1997 in the Pension Protection Fund and the Financial Assurance Scheme, so that people whose pension schemes became insolvent, no fault of their own, no longer lose out as a result of inflation.
Sorry for that.
Last year, I also provided funding to compensate the victims of the infected blood scandal, after the previous government failed to budget for the costs of compensation. This year, I have listened to representations from my honourable friend, the member for Eltham and Chislehurst, and my honourable friend, the member for Edinburgh South West.
Chislehurst.
And I'd like to thank the Minister for Employment for her representations over many years on this subject. As a result, I will exempt all payments from the infected blood scheme from inheritance tax, regardless
Fair.
of the circumstances in which those payments
How
are
about none of us
passed
get
down.
fucking inheritance tax? How about that? How about you
Madam
let people
Deputy
build
Speaker,
generational
that is
wealth,
how we should
not
be
forcing
spending
45 or
taxpayers'
50%
money.
of our
On dealing
fucking
with
sales of our
injustices,
crypto when
on
we
building
die?
strong public services.
How about that?
Not on waste and inefficiency. At the spending review,
I feel like there's a lot of words going on here.
I feel like I want to punch you in the
of
throat.
efficiencies per year by 2029. And I am grateful to the Chief Secretary to the Treasury for driving that work forward. Realising savings through AI and automation. And
Just to
by
be
scrapping
seen in
NHS
A&E,
England
wow.
and reducing back office staff by 18,000. At this budget, I will find a further £4.9 billion of efficiencies by 2031. Getting rid of police and crime commissioners, cutting the cost of politics and local government, and selling government assets that we no longer have any use for. These savings will be required across government. But for our National Health
Our
Service,
kids can
I
look
will
after themselves, so
reinvest
we're good now.
all of these savings back into the care that people rely on. More nurses, more GPs, more appointments. Restoring the services that faltered under years of Conservative decline and investing in the future of our National Health Service. And today I am announcing £300 million of investment in technology to improve patient service and 200
Not yet, James. We're waiting for you to mention it.
neighbourhood health centres. Expanding more services into communities so that people can receive treatment outside of hospitals and get better, faster care where they live. Over 100 of these will be delivered by 2030, including in Birmingham,
Yeah,
Truro
I think you're
and
right. She's
Southall.
building up to totally rip
The
us
Labour
off.
Party
Yeah.
founded our
This
National Health Service,
is the massage
and we will renew
before the
our
donkey
National
punch.
Health Service.
Yeah.
I will take the same
Because she's
approach
spending
for
a lot of
defence
cash at the
spending
moment.
that I
Can't
take
believe
to
I've just said
NHS
donkey
spending.
punch on stream, but I did. Here it is. I've done it.
Reinvesting savings back into our national security. In our age of insecurity,
Let me know in the comments if you know what a
Britain
donkey
will
punch is.
continue to stand with our allies, working in collaboration to secure a sustainable ceasefire for Ukraine, and maintaining our commitment to NATO, with the UK set to spend 2.6% of GDP on defence by April 2027. Madam Deputy Speaker, the public rightly expects that we stamp out fraud, error and waste, and put that money to good use in our schools and our hospitals.
I can
and
hear
other
George
frontline
snoring from my
services.
headphones with
My
you.
right honourable friend,
Yeah,
the Home Secretary,
disclaimer,
loving it.
guys. Crypto Dog
excess
is
profits
absolutely
from the
fast
use of
asleep, and he
hotels
is
to
a loud
house asylum
snorer. So
seekers.
apologies for the
as
snoring
we
in the
phase
background.
out the use of those hotels entirely. And we will consult on reforms to indefinite leave to remain and access to taxpayer-funded benefits.
Told you she'd let me do it. Let me be the woman in the corner.
The introduction of digital ID will break the link between illegal migration
Rachel Reeves
and
smells.
illegal working. And the HMRC and
So
the
just
Fair
give
Work
Northern
Agency
Ireland 17
will
million.
crack
Say
down on
thank you,
illicit businesses
James. Say
that
thank
blight
you.
our high streets and undercut
Dalton, I mean.
legitimate
James
firms.
Dalton, whatever your name is.
Enforcing the minimum wage, investigating dodgy businesses, and increasing scrutiny of the gig economy, as well as tracking down fraudulent business owners who vanish without paying their taxes. And I'd like to thank my honourable friends, the members for Great Grimsby and Cleethorpes,
Great
Lee and
Grimsby?
Atherton,
Have you been there?
and
Smells of
Kensington
fish.
and Bayswater for their representations on this subject.
You only sing when you're fishing.
And I'll take further steps to prevent and track down unpaid tax, which will together,
Another Northern Ireland person,
these
Dolly
reforms
do.
will raise
I'm
nearly
saying thank you
£10
for the 17
billion
million.
a year by 2030, including through new powers for HMRC to pursue the promoters of tax avoidance schemes. I am building on our successful use of targeted checks on welfare claims to root out fraud and error and prevent public money being paid to people who are not entitled to it. And I would like to thank Tom Hayhoe, the COVID Corruption Commissioner, for his work in helping to chase down nearly £400 million from dodgy pandemic spending and contracts. Tory contracts handed out by Tory ministers to Tory peers and Tory friends. Well, that money belongs in our schools and in our hospitals.
Order. It is so noisy in here, we can barely hear the Chancellor. Everybody needs to...
We can all hear her
calm down.
waffling on, love.
Chancellor.
Shut up, man.
Well, I I wouldn't want any honourable member to miss this. So we are chasing down that money, and we've got almost £400 million back from dodgy pandemic.
You're right, Demon. He is a staffy. Big head on him.
Tory contracts handed out by Tory ministers to Tory peers and Tory donors. Well, that money belongs in our schools and in our hospitals, and we are getting that money back. And finally, Madam Deputy Speaker.
No, Liam, she's just saying
we are ramping
the
up
things that they're going to
sanctions
spend money on at
Russia,
the moment.
and
Now
we
we're
are
going to get to the bit where they bend us
freezing
over.
Russian assets. But let me be clear, I don't actually mean the honourable member for Clacton.
That's Farage, innit? Clacton.
Under the Conservatives.
Order!
You could do that job.
I'd love it.
You don't need commentary from the backbenches, and Mr. Dewhurst, you are so loud. It's remarkable how far your voice carries. Chancellor.
Under the Conservatives, the cost of our welfare system increased by nearly 1 percentage point of GDP, equivalent to £88 billion in just 5 years. The broken welfare system that we inherited wrote off millions of people as too sick to work, and we will reform that system so that it is a system that does not count the cost of failure, but one that protects people who cannot work and empowers those who can. We have brought back face-to-face assessments for disability benefits. Those are the face-to-face assessments that the Shadow Chancellor got rid of when he was Work and Pensions Secretary. And our changes to universal credit will get 15,000 people back into work, a figure confirmed today. The former Health Secretary, Alan Milburn, will review the causes of rising youth inactivity, and we are already taking action. I'm grateful to the Federation of Small Businesses and Small Business Britain for their representations on apprenticeships. And today I am announcing funding to make the training for under 25 apprenticeships completely free for small and medium-sized enterprises. And funding our new youth guarantee, providing £820 million over the next 3 years to give young people who are let down by the Conservatives the support and the opportunity that they deserve. Guaranteeing every young person a place in college, an apprenticeship or personalised job support. And after 18 months, 18 to 21-year-olds will be offered paid work, not benefits. The Motability Scheme was set up to protect the most vulnerable, not to subsidise the lease on a Mercedes-Benz. And so I am making reforms that will reduce generous taxpayer subsidies, and Motability have confirmed that they will remove luxury vehicles from their scheme, getting the scheme back to its original purpose of offering cost-effective leases to disabled people. And taxpayers' money should not be spent on pensions for people abroad, who only lived here for a couple of years and may never even have paid a penny in tax. The Conservatives allowed thousands of people living abroad to buy their way into the state pension for as little as £3.50 a week, debasing the purpose of our pension system. And so I will abolish access to Class 2 voluntary national insurance contributions for people living abroad, increasing the time that someone has to live or work in Britain to 10 years and increasing the contributions that they must pay. These reforms improve our welfare system. They support our young people, protect those who need it most, and put an end to Conservative waste and unfairness. Madam Deputy Speaker, to break the cycle of austerity, we need a fair and a sustainable tax system, one that generates revenues to fund the public services that we all use, and supports investment to grow our economy. That does mean that today I am asking everyone to make a contribution.
Fuck off, how about that?
Here we go.
The previous Conservative government froze personal tax thresholds from 2021 to 2028. And today I will maintain all income tax and equivalent national insurance thresholds at their current level for a further 3 years from 2028. ensuring that people...
Order!
So, James, I was talking to a
The noise
lady
is
from a
far
Nissan
too
garage
high.
that said to me once, if there was no Motability scheme, that garage would be, showroom would be closed
The
down.
right honourable lady supported these freezes when her party made them. She might want to forget about it, but the British people never will. At the same time, we are ensuring that people only in receipt of the basic or new state pension do not have to pay small amounts of tax through simple assessment from April 2027. I will also keep the Plan 2 student loan repayments threshold at its 2026-27 level for 3 years. Madam Deputy Speaker, I know that maintaining these thresholds is a decision that will affect working people. I said that last year, and I won't pretend otherwise now. Madam Deputy Speaker, I am asking everyone to make a contribution, but I can keep that contribution as low as possible because I will make further reforms to our tax system today to make it fairer and to ensure that the wealthiest contribute the most. The Conservatives knew that our tax system didn't work. Time and time again, they ducked the necessary reforms, leaving a system unfit for a changing economy, with unfairness that they refused to address. Currently, a landlord with an income of £25,000 will pay nearly £1,200 less in tax than their tenants with the same salary, because no national insurance is charged on property, dividend or savings income. It's not fair that the tax system treats different types of income so differently.
Here we go.
So there'll be no people investing in houses for renting.
Tax on property, savings and dividend income by 2 percentage points, and the additional rate of tax on property and savings income by 2 percentage points. Even after these reforms, 90% of taxpayers will still pay no tax at all on their savings. As well as narrowing the gap between the tax on income from assets and income from work, I also believe that a fair society is one where the wealthiest pay their fair share. The reforms I made last year will raise an additional £8 billion a year by 2020-30 from wealth. I increased taxes last year on private equity, private schools and private jets. I abolished the non-dom tax regime. And this year, I will make 2 changes to cap trust charges and prevent avoidance. I reformed inheritance tax on agricultural and business assets. And this year, I am aligning those reforms with wider inheritance tax rules by allowing the transfer of the 100% relief allowance between spouses, balancing the taxation of these valuable assets with the realities of family life. In this budget, I will take further steps to deal with a long-standing source of wealth inequality in our country. A Band D home in Darlington or Blackpool pays just under £2,400 in council tax, nearly £300 more than a £10 million mansion in Mayfair. And so, from 2028, I am introducing the high-value council tax surcharge in England, an annual £2,500 charge for properties worth more than £2 million, rising to £7,500 for properties worth more than £5 million. This will be collected alongside council tax, levied on owners, and we will consult on options for support or deferral. This new surcharge will raise over £400 million by 2031 and will be charged on less than the top 1% of properties. Madam Deputy Speaker, reliefs in our tax system cost the taxpayer billions of pounds a year, but many of them no longer serve their original purpose. The government rightly provides generous tax relief for people paying into a pension, relieving income tax on all contributions and on the investment itself, as well as national insurance relief on employer contributions, at a cost of over £70 billion a year to the Exchequer. This budget makes no changes to those reliefs or to the tax-free lump sum. But salary sacrifice for pensions, which was intended to be a small part of our pension system, is forecast to almost treble in cost to other taxpayers from £2.8 billion in 2017 to £8 billion
So you're about to slash the relief on your pensions for your salary sacrifice.
With the greatest benefit going to the highest earners, or to those in the financial services sector putting their bonuses into pensions tax-free, while those on the minimum wage or those whose employers don't offer salary sacrifice don't benefit at all. That is not sustainable for our public finances, putting pressure on the tax that everyone else pays. And so I am introducing a £2,000 cap on salary sacrifice into a pension, with contributions above that taxed in the same way as other employee pension contributions. That is a pragmatic step so that people, especially on low and middle incomes, can continue to use salary sacrifice for their pension without paying any more in tax than they do now, and to give individuals and employers time to adjust to these new arrangements. These changes will come into effect in 2029.
She's just getting started, mate, on the tax stuff.
Introduced 100% relief from capital gains tax on business sales made to employee ownership trusts, creating a route for gains to go completely untaxed when businesses are sold. I will reduce that relief to 50%, retaining a strong incentive for employee-owned companies. And as we work towards doubling the size of the cooperative economy, the Department for Business and Trade will launch a call for evidence on how we can better support co-ops to grow. Because of the changes that I have made to capital gains tax this year and last year, receipts are forecast to increase from £14 billion this year to £30 billion by 2030. To support our high streets, I am announcing a package of regulatory changes as called for by UK Hospitality and the British Retail Consortium. And I will support the Great British Pub through our new national licensing framework, encouraging councils to back our pubs and to back late-night venues with greater freedoms. For business rates, I will introduce permanently lower tax rates for over 750,000 retail, hospitality and leisure properties, the lowest rates since 1991, paid for through higher rates on properties worth more than £500,000, like the warehouses used by online giants. Alongside this, I will introduce a package of support worth over £4.3 billion over the next 3 years for a property of any size seeing a large increase in their bill. And to support a level playing field in retail, I will stop online firms from undercutting our high street businesses by ensuring customs duty applies on parcels of any value. I will reform our motoring taxes.
That's Shine
exempting
screwed.
search and rescue vehicles
Sheen,
from vehicle
yeah.
excise duty, as called for by my honourable friends, the member for the Western Isles and for Whitehaven and Workington. And because all cars contribute to the wear and tear on our roads, I will ensure that drivers are taxed according to how much they drive,
fuck off.
and not just by the type of car they own.
I benefit from this because I don't do many miles.
The
but it's a
electric
piss take.
vehicle excise duty on electric cars. This will be payable each year alongside vehicle excise duty at 3p per mile for electric cars and 1.5p for plug-in hybrids, helping us to double road maintenance funding in England over the course of this Parliament. And alongside this, I am providing support to boost our British car industry, increasing the threshold for the expensive car supplement on electric vehicles to £50,000, saving over 1 million motorists £440 a year. Providing £1.3 billion additional funding for the electric car grant, extending it to 2030 and taking total funding to £2 billion. As well as delaying changes to the employee car ownership scheme. In addition, we're investing a further £200 million to accelerate the rollout of EV charging, as well as 100% business rates relief for EV charge points for the next decade, with thanks to my honourable friend, the member for Camborne and Redruth, for his representations on this policy. And I will improve competition in our taxi industry by ending ride-hailing companies' use of a discount scheme intended for coach tours, as called for by Steve McNamara, the General Secretary of the Licensed Taxi Drivers Association, legislating to restrict access so that everyone pays fairly and protecting £700 million of tax revenue each year. I am responding to our consultation on landfill tax, and listening to representations, particularly from our house building industry. I will not converge towards a single rate, but I will prevent the gap between the two rates from widening to balance the need to address tax avoidance in the current structure. I will today
Tomorrow, 1 p.m, Des, we've got a live
charge,
stream with the UK's crypto award-winning, the award-winning crypto accountant of the year. That's a question for him. 1 p.m. tomorrow. Come to the stream.
And draw a line under this long-standing issue. And I'd like to thank my honourable friend, the member for Milton Keynes Central, for her representations on this subject. I will continue with the planned uprating for tobacco duties that I set out last year and uprate alcohol duties by inflation, along with our plans to introduce a vaping products duty in 2026 and changes to the soft drinks industry levy announced by my right honourable friend.
She's attacking milkshakes and vapes.
Yesterday.
I hate her so much.
And I'd like to thank the Exchequer Secretary to the Treasury for his work on all the tax measures in this budget. I will also reform gambling taxes in response to the rise in online gambling. Remote gaming is associated with the highest levels of harm. And so I am increasing remote gaming duty from 21% to 40%.
Or gambling?
With duty on online betting increasing from 15% to 25%. I am making no change to the taxes on in-person gambling or on horse racing. And I am abolishing bingo duty entirely from April next year.
Bingo duty?
Who knew there was bingo duty?
Taken together, my reforms to gambling tax will raise over £1 billion per year by 2031.
Well, no bingo tax deserves one of these.
I will not be increasing
that's what we're all hoping for, isn't it? No bingo tax.
The basic, higher or additional rates of income tax or VAT. And I have kept everyone's contribution as low as possible through reforms to make our tax system stronger, closing loopholes, ensuring that the wealthiest pay their share, and building a tax system that is fairer for the future as our economy changes. On the day I became Chancellor, I said that I would judge my time in office a success if I knew that ordinary children from working-class backgrounds were living more fulfilling lives. Their horizons expanded, their potential realised. I joined the Labour Party. I came into politics because I believe that
we've got the highest rate of
has
children's
equal
poverty
worth
ever.
And deserves an equal chance to achieve their promise. The biggest barrier to equal opportunity is child poverty. Because for every child that grows up in poverty, our society pays a triple cost. The first and the heaviest is to the child. Going to school hungry, waking up in a cold home, or in another B&B. While other children enjoy the advantages of parents with time to help with homework, the quiet space at home to work in, too many go without. And there is also the cost of supporting a family in poverty, which ends up in the lap of overstretched councils, who can do no more than shunt them into temporary accommodation at huge cost to local taxpayers. Then there is the future cost to our economy and to our society, of wasted talent and a welfare system that bears the cost of failure for decades to come. Young people with so much to contribute, but whose potential is suffocated early by limited life chances and missed opportunities, struggling to make their way in a society that did not look out for them. I don't intend to preside over a status quo that punishes children for the circumstances of their birth and demands that we all pay 3 times over for it. Since last July, we've rolled out free breakfast clubs in schools. We're expanding free school meals to 500,000 more kids, lifting 100,000 children out of poverty as we do it. We've passed the Renters' Rights Act, and we've extended the childcare offer. And I'm proud of all of that. But it's not enough. Because there is one policy that pushes kids into poverty more than any other. It was introduced by the party opposite. They said it would save money and that it would bring about behavioural change, disincentivising poorer families from having more children. Well, even on its own terms, it failed. The welfare bill has continued to rise, and there's been no difference in the size of families. But what it has done is to push hundreds of thousands of children into poverty since it was introduced. They said they were punishing parents' choices, but it's the kids who have paid the price. They've paid the price for the policies of a party which opted for cynical gimmicks over real savings in our welfare system. I understand that many families are finding times hard and that many kids have had to make difficult choices when it comes to having kids. And there are many reasons why people choose to have children and then find themselves in difficult times. The death of a partner, separation, ill health, a lost job. I don't believe that children should have to bear the brunt of that. And neither can I, in good conscience, leave in place the vile policy known as the rape clause, requiring women to prove if their child has been conceived non-consensually to receive support. I'm proud to be Britain's first female Chancellor of the Exchequer. I take the responsibilities that come with that seriously. I will not tolerate the grotesque indignity of women of the rape clause any longer. It is dehumanising, it is cruel, and I will remove it from the statute book. And so because I am tackling fraud and error in our welfare system, because I am cracking down on tax avoidance, because I am reforming gambling taxation, I can announce today, fully costed and fully funded, the removal of the two-child limit in full from April. This side of the house. It's amazing what people get so angry about, and we've seen their true colours today. The thing they get angry about is lifting children out of poverty.
Order! Order. Our constituents will want to hear the Chancellor.
I think our constituents have heard all they need to from the party opposites today. We on this side of the House do not believe that the solution to a broken welfare system is to punish the most vulnerable. We are lifting 450,000 children out of poverty with the end of the two-child limit. And, Madam Deputy Speaker, combined with other actions we are taking, this Labour government is achieving the biggest reduction in child poverty over a parliament since records began. That is the difference that this Labour government is making. Madam Deputy Speaker, I know how worried families are about the cost of everything. Worried that their money won't stretch to the end of the month. Worried that price... I think if you've got a house that's worth £5 million a year, you can probably afford it. But you get more exercise about reducing child poverty than you do about the richest paying more. Under this government, wages have risen by more since we were elected than in 10 years under the last government, with lower interest rates already saving families £1,200 a year off a typical new mortgage, compared to that to when Liz Truss was Prime Minister. But I know that people still face pressure on their budgets day to day and week to week. And where there is more to do, where we can provide relief, we are doing it. Extending the bus fare cap, cracking down on rip-off price hikes, freezing prescription charges, and freezing rail fares for the first time in 30 years. I am increasing the basic and new state pension by 4.8%, an increase of £440 per year for the basic state pension, and an increase of £575 per year for the new state pension, in line with our commitment to the triple lock. At the election, we promised a genuine living wage, and we are delivering it. At the budget last year, I increased the national minimum wage and the national living wage, and I am doing the same this year too. Accepting the recommendations of the Low Pay Commission in full, and increasing the minimum wage for 18 to 20-year-olds from £10 to £10.85 an hour, and increasing the living wage from £12.21 to £12.71 an hour. Under current plans, the temporary 5p cut to fuel duty that was introduced during the pandemic will come to an end in April, and fuel duty will be uprated in line with inflation. But I know that the cost of travelling to and from work is still too expensive. And so I am extending the 5p cut until September 2026. And because I know that changes in wholesale prices are not always passed on to motorists, I am bringing in new rules to mandate petrol forecourts to share real-time price rises through a new fuel finder, empowering drivers to find the cheapest fuel, calling out rip-offs and strengthening competition, saving the average household £40 a year. Madam Deputy Speaker, one of the greatest drivers of the rising cost of living is the cost of energy prices. The cause of high energy bills must be tackled at source, and so we are investing in energy security, in nuclear and renewable energy, and in insulation through our Warm Homes Plan. But that's not enough when people are struggling with energy bills today. The Conservatives' Eco Scheme was presented as a plan to tackle fuel poverty. It costs households £1.7 billion a year on their bills. And for 97% of families in fuel poverty, the scheme, get this, has cost them more than it's saved. It is a failed scheme, and so I am scrapping it, along with taking other legacy costs off bills. And as a result, I can tell you today that for every family, we are keeping our promise to get energy bills down and cut the cost of living. With £150 cut from the average household bill from April next year. Money off bills and in the pockets of working people, that is my choice. Not to neglect Britain's energy security like the Tories did. Not to leave working families to bear the brunt of high prices like the Tories did, but to get energy costs down now and in the future. That is the Labour choice. And Madam Deputy Speaker, one more thing. Because of our action on bills and on prices, as a direct result of this budget, the Office for Budget Responsibility confirmed today that inflation is coming down faster and will be a full 0.4 percentage points lower next year. That's the benefit of a Labour government cutting the cost of living. Madam Deputy Speaker, this Labour government is changing our country. In the face of challenges on our productivity, I will grow our economy through stability, investment and reform. I've met my fiscal rules and built our economic resilience for the future. I have asked everyone to contribute, yes, for the security of our country and the brightness of its future. But I have kept that contribution as low as possible by reforming our tax system, making it fairer and stronger for the future. I have protected our NHS, maintaining public investment and driving efficiency in government spending. I've taken action on our broken welfare system, rooting out waste and lifting children out of poverty. And I have cut the cost of living with money off bills and prices frozen, all while keeping every single one of our manifesto commitments. Those are my choices.
Order. Mr. Rankin, Miss Morton, your voice carries right across the chamber. Right across the chamber. Try and take a breath every so often. Chancellor.
Those are my choices. Not austerity, not reckless borrowing, but cutting the debt, cutting waiting lists, and cutting the cost of living. Those are Labour choices, promised and delivered by this budget, promised and delivered by this Labour government. And, Madam Deputy Speaker, I commend this statement to the House.
What do we think of that then?
Ain't finished.
Order! Under Standing Order number 51, the first motion entitled Provisional Collection of Taxes must be decided without debate. Will the Chancellor of the Exchequer please move formally? Chancellor, please move formally.
Formally.
The question is that pursuant to Section 5 of the Provisional Collection of Taxes Act 1968, provisional statutory effect shall be given to the following motions. Stamp duty reserve tax, UK listing relief, motion number 60. Rates of tobacco products duty, motion number 65. As many of their opinions say aye. Aye. Of the contrary, no. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. We now come to the motion entitled Income Tax Charge. It is on this motion that the debate will take place today and on the succeeding days. The questions on this motion and on the remaining motions will be put at the end of the budget debate on Tuesday, the 2nd of December. I call the Chancellor of the Exchequer to move the motion formally.
Formally.
The question is that income tax is charged for the tax year 2026-27, and it is declared that this and is expedient in the public interest that this resolution should have statutory effect under the provisions of the Provisional Collections of Taxes Act 1968. I now call the Leader of the Opposition. Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. And may I congratulate the Right Honourable Lady on delivering her second budget. I hope she enjoyed it, because it really should be her last. Yeah. What a total humiliation. A total humiliation.
Can colleagues who are exiting the chamber do so swiftly so we can focus on the Leader of the Opposition? Swiftly exit, quietly. Right. Leader of the Opposition.
It's a total humiliation, Madam Deputy Speaker. Last year, she put up taxes by £40 billion, the biggest tax raid in British history. She promised that she wouldn't be back for more. She swore it was a one-off. She told everyone that from now on it would be stability and she would pay for everything with growth. Today, she has broken every single one of those promises. If she had any decency, she would resign. At the last budget, she said she was proud to be the country's first ever female Chancellor. After this budget, she will go down as the country's worst ever Chancellor.
Order. And the Chief Whip in particular knows that we don't allow clapping in the chamber. Leader of the Opposition.
Today she has announced a new tax rate of £26 billion. They're all cheering. Household income is down. Spending policies in this budget increase borrowing in every year. That smorgasbord of misery we just heard from her can be summed up in one sentence. Labour are hiking taxes to pay for welfare. is a budget for Benefit Street, Madam Deputy Speaker, paid for by working people. This budget increases benefits for 560,000 families by an average of £5,000. They are hiking taxes on workers, pensioners and savers to pay for handouts to keep their backbenchers quiet. These are the same, yes, they can chanter all they like. These are the same backbenchers, Madam Deputy Speaker, who cheered last year when she taxed jobs and left more than 100,000 people without an income. They cheered because they didn't understand the consequences of what they were doing, and they still don't. Madam Deputy Speaker, it's not been an easy time for the Chancellor. No one liked seeing her sitting on those benches as it dawned on her that her own backbenchers were going to do to her political career what she's done to our economy. But she could have chosen today to bring down welfare spending and get more people into work. Instead, she has chosen to put up tax after tax after tax, taxes on workers, taxes on savers, taxes on pensioners, taxes on investors, taxes on homes, holidays, cars, I think even milkshakes, taxes on anyone doing the right thing. She and this government have lost what little credibility they had left, and no one will ever trust her again. What's amazing, Madam Deputy Speaker, is that she has the nerve to come to this House and claim this is all someone else's fault. A laundry list of excuses. Yeah. Yes. Madam Deputy Speaker, they blame the Conservatives as if we've been sneaking into the Treasury under the cover of darkness to give pay rises to the unions. She inherited an economy with inflation at 2% and record high employment. She has tanked it in just over a year. Endless excuses. She blames Brexit. She blames Donald Trump. She needs to blame herself. And I've got some news for her. The Chancellor didn't seem to understand what the OBR was saying. Inflation is up, not down, and that inflation was stoked by her tax and spend decisions. The economic fiscal outlook says that they expect inflation to stay higher for longer. Everybody else has read it. She still hasn't read the OBR analysis. She blames higher than expected borrowing costs. Where does she think they came from? Those borrowing costs are driven by her lack of grip. She is paying more, you're saying us, she's paying more to borrow than Greece. She is paying more to borrow than at any point under the 14 years of Conservative government. Perhaps if Labour MPs read a book sometimes, they would know something. That includes an energy crisis, Madam Deputy Speaker. Under us, we had an energy crisis sparked by a war in Ukraine and a global pandemic. What is her excuse? What is her excuse? She is taking the public for fools, but they are under no illusions whose fault this is. The fact is, the bad choices she is making today, choices to break promises, choices to put up taxes, choices to spend more of other people's money, are because of the bad choices she made at the last disastrous budget. If you want growth, you need to start with knowing what kind of country you want to be and make a plan to get there. Create certainty for the people and businesses who will drive growth. There is no growth and no plan because Labour focused on settling scores and scratching the itches they had in opposition. She promised stability, she delivered chaos. Just look at the circus around this budget. First the leaks, then more leaks to try to undo the damage. Calling panicky press conferences, U-turning on her U-turns, rolling the pitch one day only to plough through it the next. She had the cheek to talk about stability, Madam Deputy Speaker. She has become the first Chancellor in history to release the whole budget ahead of time. This is extraordinary. It tells you everything you need to know about her grip on the Treasury. She's making the UK a shambolic laughingstock to international investors, and if she doesn't resign for breaking her promises, she should sure as hell go for this. But, Madam Deputy Speaker, what have we got for all this chaos and disorder? There are 1 million more people claiming universal credit than there were at the time of the last budget. Government spending, up. Welfare spending, up. Universal credit claimants, up. Unemployment, up. Debt interest, up. Inflation, up. And what about the things that you want to go up? What about the things you want to go up? Growth, down. Investment, down. Business confidence, down. The credibility of the Chancellor, and not just down, through the floor. These figures are shocking. Does she really think that anyone will be confused by the sleight of her hand that she had in her speech? Her speech today was an exercise in self-delusion. Today, she had an opportunity to apologize and show some humility. Instead, we've been fed puff pieces in the Times and the FT showing a woman wallowing in self-pity, whining about mansplaining and misogyny. Madam Deputy Speaker, let me explain to the Chancellor. Woman...
Order. Colleagues need to simmer down, most definitely, and just breathe a little and allow the legal opposition to be heard. Legal opposition.
All we've had is wallowing in self-pity and whining about misogyny and mansplaining. So, Madam Deputy Speaker, let me explain to the Chancellor, woman to woman.
Let me just pause here. Okay, where are you? Lost you on the screen. There you are. So, what are you thinking to that, Paula? Because some of the big things I was worried about didn't happen. Capital gains tax.
No mention of exit tax, no mention of capital gains tax.
They were the two big ones that I was worried about. And the rest of it, if I'm honest, just sounds like a bit of a cash grab in every direction. It don't matter whether you're eating, drinking, driving, everything. But it could have been
It's
worse.
difficult, isn't it? Because on one hand, she's saying that she doesn't want to take money out of normal people's pockets. And in the same respect, she's saying, but we're going to tax everything you do.
Everything.
So, yeah, the only way that you're going to be better off is to literally just not move and probably don't breathe.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely don't drink milkshakes.
Yeah, I can't believe they got a milkshake tax.
Don't drink milkshakes. Don't vape. Don't drink. Don't gamble. You can go to bingo.
That could have been worse. In a crypto sense,
Yeah.
that could have been a hell of a lot worse. So we put that off now for another year to see what happens next year. But at least we've survived for another year, potentially any massive crypto impact.
Yeah, I mean, yes, we have in the terms of the budget being released, but doesn't mean regulations won't change in amongst that. So
yeah, I'm just on about tax in particular. I think actually what they're probably going to do to try and raise more crypto taxes, they're just going to get more invasive on us crypto community in terms of the sharing of the data from the exchanges and tracking people down and chasing people that aren't paying their taxes. I think that's where they're going to do their cash grab. And listen, the law's the law. You got to pay your tax. So if you're not submitting tax
difficult,
reports,
isn't it? Because
and you're in crypto, you probably should before you get the knock on the door.
Yeah, because yes, we've got these regulations coming in January 2026, but actually the requirement for reporting your crypto and your taxable events isn't new. You're supposed to have already done it before. What's changing is actually the requirements from the exchanges to report the data to HMRC. We should have already been doing that bit as crypto users ourselves. So hopefully what will come is more clarity about what is a taxable event, what isn't a taxable event, and actually we can just get to the point where everybody's clearer. And I think that kind of transparency is going to be the important thing. They haven't got a handle on crypto. I think that's the reality. And also what she didn't mention was the amount of money that is going to come in from HMRC, because they've invested in these analytics tools that are now going to start tracing people and tracking people. That revenue stream for HMRC is going to be massive, isn't it?
Yeah. Talking about the ISA rules. So there was changes to them, but we need to go and look exactly what those changes were because you rattled through it so quickly.
So I just had a quick look online, and it was saying that they have brought the allowance down, but not for over 65s. So over 65s can still have the £20,000. But let me just, I feel like it's 12. So savers will be able to put up to £12,000 into cash ISAs tax-free each year. This is reduced from 20,000 in the hopes that Brits will instead put their money into stocks and shares ISAs. Over 65s can retain the full £20,000 allowance.
So that's what they're doing. I've got a list of it all here. So Stu Stocks in the comments here has messaged me. So I've got a list of everything here. So the basic rate is going to stay the same. That's all going to stay the same. They're driving the EV is definitely going to cost more because they're now going to start charging people per mile, which is crazy.
3p per mile, yeah.
If you get a pay rise, eligible workers aged 21 and over on the national living wage will receive £2.71 an hour, up from £12.71 an hour, up from £12.21. If you're aged 18, 19, or 20, wages will increase to £10.85 an hour, up from £10. And for those aged 16 to 17, the minimum wage will rise to £8 an hour from £7.55. Some homeowners are going to start paying more tax because of the banding of the properties.
Yeah, for council tax.
Yeah, council tax banding in England. So if you're
banned, that's over £2 million.
Yeah, they're going to put extra on top of that. The train fares in England won't go up. To be honest, after catching the train to London return the other week, and it cost me nearly 270 quid, they need to bring the prices down, not up. Not help them, they need to come down.
Especially because then the train to come home was then cancelled, and we were an hour and a half delayed. So if you're going to have an unreliable service, charging such a high amount of money is not ideal, is it?
Yeah. Your work state pension will be affected because a third of private sector employees and a tenth of public sector workers use a salary sacrifice scheme. These workers give up a portion of their salary in return for the employer paying the equivalent amount into their pension. The benefit to both employer and the employee is that they make savings on national insurance. A £2,000 a year cap on the amount that can be put into pensions through this salary sacrifice will be until 2029.
£2,000 per year?
Yeah, of tax that you'll save, or national insurance contributions. Most benefits of state pensions will rise and go up. So the new flat rate pension, so that's going up. You heard them saying about that. It will increase on April to £241.30 or £12,547 a year. So that's going up £574 a year. What else we got? Prescription charges have been frozen and Motability changes. So how much, for fuck's sake, how much sugar is in milk-based drinks? So they are going to be doing here a range of other measures for the budget have already become clear. They've literally got a list of milkshakes on my screen here. The UK tax on fizzy drinks will be extended to milk-based products in 2028. Taking in pre-packaged milkshakes and coffees that are high in sugar, this will push up prices. And the example they give is a Yazoo milkshake. Now, I'm quite partial to a Yazoo milkshake, right? Especially the chocolate one. There's currently 4.7 grams of sugar in that. So that's going to have an effect on my milkshakes. Now, the fact the only thing I'm really worried about here is the milkshakes tells me that this could have been a hell of a lot worse here. A hell of a lot worse. I was worried about capital gains tax. I was worried about inheritance tax in particular.
Because they didn't mention that really, did they?
No, not at all. So that's a real bonus. And it doesn't look like sometimes they only talk about the headline stuff and they sneak things in afterwards in the document.
Yeah.
But looking at not social media, looking at the news now of things that are being sent, it sounds like we are irie, as they say in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Somebody said, "Hey, great show, guys. We'll definitely be watching you guys more. Very informative and down to earth. I've got to nip off now. Take care and keep up with the great content." Yeah, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. We certainly do appreciate that. So, talking of taxes, tomorrow we've got a live show at 1:00 UK time. We have got Jamie, who is the UK award-winning crypto tax accountant of the year. He deserved that. He deserved that. He will appreciate the soundboard tomorrow. But he is here to answer all your questions related to the changes that are coming up in January 2026 with the new regulations. I'm really sorry if you can hear that in the background. That's the dog having a drink. But he is going to be here. We've got so many questions that have come from your the comments that you've put on our videos. So we're going to address all of them with him tomorrow. If you want any questions answering, jump on the live with us tomorrow at 1 p.m.
This is interesting. Let me just pin this and talk to this person. Ricky. Crypto doesn't care about the UK budget. But you do if you're in crypto and you live in the UK, you absolute spoon, because that's where we pay tax. So if you're from the UK and you're into crypto, it's a very, very important thing. But I appreciate your comment, you big spoon. Right.
Stu, I appreciate that for the seamless link comment. That was great. Guys took my advice on the headphones and sounds awesome. Yeah, appreciate that. Listen, we are new to doing lives on this platform. We spent a lot of our time on TikTok. Looking at Paula's mantle, it's already Christmas in the house. Yeah, these are actually up all year. But yeah, the boys want to put the Christmas tree up, but where my desk is at the moment, this is where the Christmas tree is going. So I'm not quite sure where that's going this year. But what was I saying? Yeah, on the whole live streaming on YouTube, it is new for us. So the more feedback we get, the better we can make the streams. We want to make YouTube our home. We've come over from TikTok, where we've both got a huge following and loads of people have followed us. But if you don't already subscribe to the channels, do give us a follow. It's Milkshakematty that way.
The links in. It doesn't matter whose stream you're looking at. If you go to the description, there's a link for both of us in each other's stream.
And I'm Paula Talks Crypto. And we are putting content out on the platform every single day, talking about markets, talking about geopolitics, talking about the macros, because the majority of people that are going to be watching us are going to be retail traders. And the reality is that the price on the chart is normally the last thing that happens. We want to give you as much information as we can about what else is going on in the wider world that affects crypto. So if you are new, like the stream here and give us a subscribe, we would really appreciate that.
Before we go, we just want to let you guys know that Paula and myself are part of the Crypto Wolfpack. It's a crypto community. Yeah. We have got over 260 members now inside the Wolfpack ecosystem. And if you are looking for a community of down-to-earth people, not moon boys, not mean people, general,
crypto
normal
bros.
people. Yeah, not crypto bros. Although I wouldn't mind a Lambo. Gonna be honest. Yeah, this is not a crypto bro place. This is normal people that are predominantly from the UK and the US and Australia. And if you are looking for a community, then there's links in the description. Or you can go to cryptowolfpack.co.uk. And if you want to know the exact strategies that Paula and I have used during the bear markets and the bull markets to make money, both on spot and leverage, there's a completely free training course. If you head over to cryptowolfpack.co.uk, go and click on the crypto liftoff course. It's totally free, no paywalls. Go and click it, go and enjoy it. And yeah, I appreciate every single one that's come and watch. It's weird for us coming over to YouTube and having so little viewers compared to TikTok. I could get anything between 3 and 10 million views a month. Paula was doing millions of views a month. So to come over to YouTube with less viewers is weird for us. But I actually like it.
But it's
and
good.
I'll tell you what,
it.
the comments are so much better. I'm telling you now, there is a difference between YouTube and TikTok, and the people over here seem a lot more switched on. Yeah, they've still had a little bit of banter, right? But on a whole, the comments have been better educated, more leveled, more insightful, if that's the right word. Insightful? Is that the right word? Yeah. And actually, I'm really glad we're making this transition over here. And this is going to be our home now. We've both committed a whole year of our lives. Every single day, we're going to make you content. Every single week, we're going to do you live streams. Then we're going to make a good view on it when we look at it where we are next year. And we're hoping the way our channels are growing. I've only been making content when we add up the amount of weeks. I've only been making content over here on YouTube for 13 weeks in total. I did a 4-week blast over in April and May, and then I've been doing it for 9 weeks here now. I'm just over 5,500 followers. Now in YouTube terms, that's pretty fast growth. Paula's only been making content for 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
Yeah, maybe 5.
5 weeks. She's got 4,500 followers. Now, in YouTube terms, that's really quick. So we're really excited to see where this journey goes. So if you're not following us, please hit that subscribe button. And by the way, just before we end this video, press that like button because it helps the algorithm. You'll be helping us. And I will love you all as a brother and sister.
Absolutely. And somebody said in the comments that they couldn't tune in tomorrow. So just so you know, the lives are all saved. So even after the live, you can go back onto our channels and you can watch it. And yeah, it really helps us grow. The more of our videos you watch, the more you like them, the more you interact with them. It makes a massive difference. And it's been a real pleasure creating content for YouTube. It's a completely different vibe to TikTok. Everybody on TikTok, if you don't engage with them in the first 2 seconds, they're not interested in what you've got to say. Whereas on YouTube, it feels like people want to listen and people want the information. So we spend a lot of time researching the information we put out there to make sure it's really good for you guys, because we want to make sure that you're getting something back from the things that we're doing and you get that education as well. So yeah, we just really appreciate the support. It's been amazing.
I actually don't want to end the stream now. I've said I'm going to end it. I just don't.
Well,
I just want to sit here and go, hi guys.
2 hours long, and this one has also been 2 hours long.
Is it really?
So yeah,
I did a
yeah,
5-hour stream yesterday inside the Wolfpack as well.
Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
need to
I
sleep.
mean, some of the feedback from the Liftoff course that Matt's created has been awesome, and there's people in the community that have done it and said, I've paid significant money for courses that I haven't got as much out of as what you created there. So that's great for the community, but well done to Matt for creating that. It is a free resource. If you're trading, if you're holding spot, if you're just learning, if you've been in crypto for years, go and download it, go and watch the videos, because you just never know, you might just add some value to the information you already know.
That, I've never thought of that before. YouTube, you choose to be on the stream, whereas TikTok, they throw it in your face. He's absolutely, I've never even thought about that.
Yeah.
That's why the comments are better.
Yeah.
That's why there's less trolls. We had 2 trolls all stream. If I'd have streamed, or we'd have streamed on TikTok for 2 hours, we'd have had what? 200 trolls? 300 trolls?
And it's like a quick fire, rapid firing at comments, and then you can't have a proper discussion. And actually, it's been really nice to be able to answer those comments and to actually talk about it. So, it's been awesome.
Yeah, it's been really good. Well, what we could do? Do you know how many people have said I've never ever had anybody say that to me on TikTok ever. On YouTube, it's every day somebody's saying this to either me or you. There's not enough UK crypto
creators.
guys or women, people, bros, whatever, over here on YouTube. So that feedback's so important. And I think they are right. There are UK YouTubers in the crypto space, but I don't think they're doing what we're doing. And that's okay, because you're allowed to find your own lane, right? And there are some great YouTubers from the UK scene. 100%, I know a few. I'm not going to name them now because I want you to follow me. However, I get what you're saying. They're not doing the same as what we're putting a plan together here, and that's really good. And there's a space for all of us here. That's a good thing about YouTube. I think there's a space for everybody here. Find your niche, find your mode, and you'll attract the people that you want. And for me and you to be getting 10,000 followers between us or whatever it is over the space of 13 weeks is impressive. And I'm so glad, Paula, that you have made that transition, because it was me that jumped to YouTube first. I've always loved YouTube, right? YouTube is it's where I go when I want to learn something, when I want to watch something. And if I can't do anything in my life, I don't Google, I YouTube. If I can't do anything, I'll learn it on YouTube. So that's where I go. So it was a natural step for me to do that, especially when TikTok started to annoy me. It's a long story, but I'll explain it on another stream another day. We'll hold a stream about it. But I'm so glad, Paula.
You might need a 2-hour stream just for that.
2-hour stream for that. But I'm so glad. Which way are you? You're that way. I'm so glad, Paula, that you listened to what I said and made that transition, because I believe, Paula, you are going to have a monster account on here. I truly believe it.
I hope so. Honestly, it's been so fun.
Yeah. I believe that you're going to have a massive account here on thinking, because what they're saying is there's a lack of British content. There is a severe lack of British female content.
Yeah.
Massively.
Yeah. And I think there is a lot of feeling in the crypto community about this whole crypto bro thing. And then a lot of women don't feel like there is that connection that they can draw to crypto and getting involved in it. And also, I hope that you guys that are following me also like my approach to the way that I deliver the information and do my research. So I've been absolutely overwhelmed with the support from the community here. And I have really, really enjoyed making the videos, and I shall keep doing that whilst you guys still want me to make the content.
Mm-hmm. I'll race you to 10,000. You're catching me fast. You're only 1,000 behind me. You was 2,500 behind me last week, right? So you're catching me quick, but I'll race you to 10,000. See who gets there first.
Okay, yeah.
We'll hold a celebration.
Yeah,
stream.
go Paula. Yeah.
Hey, it will happen. It will happen. I can see how far I can see. Listen, I'm a stats guy, and I can see the algorithm in the background, so I can see it. So fair play, Paula.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that.
Lovely. Let's knock this on the
guys.
end.
I really
everybody.
appreciate you joining us today. Thank you so much. As I say, if you're not subscribed to the channels, give us a subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow, 1 o'clock with Jamie to do another live. If you can't catch it live, do catch up with it afterwards. But hopefully, as many of you as possible can join, and we will get as many questions as we can answered in that time.
Guys, if you're watching this now and you're going to come tomorrow at 1 o'clock, can you all do me a favour on the sly, right? He looks a bit like Penfold. If you're old enough to remember Penfold, right? Remember Penfold from Danger Mouse, right? Remember him? So he looks a little bit like that. So if you guys can tomorrow in the comments go, oh my God, he looks like Penfold. And some of you go, yeah, he does. He looks just like Penfold. Without me saying that, that'd be quality because I'll keep pinning it to the screen and we'll see if we can troll him a little bit.
Awesome.
All right? Don't tell him I said.
Oh, James,
secret.
thank you.
It's a
Appreciate
secret.
the support. That's
what's
awesome.
this? What's he saying?
He says, I'll back you to 10K, Paula.
Ah, fair enough. Fair enough. Right.
Right, guys, thank you so much. We'll catch you tomorrow. Take care. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, man. Remember, tomorrow, 1 p.m, Penfold. Remember that. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.